Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to Arsenal News. Hope everyone is doing well. Before we get into the comments, let's quickly go through some housekeeping. And you've got the chance to win a signed Aaron Ramsdale frame with certificate of authentication. All you got to do is simply enter by subscribing to the Armoury TV YouTube channel. If you've already subscribed, you already entered, so don't worry about that. Winners will be selected at random and will be announced on the first Premier League match preview of next season, which will be against Nottingham Forest. So big up to everyone. Let's get into the comments before we get into the news. Big up to Moss, we excellent players, always good. DRB heard Gundogan. I will get into what we're talking about shortly, I promise you that. Big up to Bargav, big up to my Northampton Town fan. Love the updates that you always give me. Northampton Town versus Leicester City friendly game on Saturday, July the 15th at 3 p.m. So any Northampton fans or Leicester fans, make sure you put that in your diary. Big up to Tamina that loves to read my script up before I even get to do it. Declan Rice third new bid soon, 100 million. We'll get into that. Timber, second bid soon. We'll get into that. Kai Havertz is coming to Arsenal. We'll get into that. Simakan, we won't be getting into that today. The RB won't be getting into that today either. Harvey Barnes, we're getting into that. Lavia, we're getting into that as well. And we're also getting into a couple of people that might be leaving. Big up to Brenny. Hope you're doing well. Good evening to you all. Loving our links, says Moss here, besides Kai. Timber, Diaby, Gundogan, perhaps. Lavia, looking good. Hope we get most completed. Big ups, Brenny from Moss. Cannot go wrong with Ajax player. I'm a Ajax fan, so obviously I'm definitely not going to have an issue with that. Big up to BX Gunner, sweet giveaway, absolutely. My co-host has just joined me backstage, and it is a signed photo of him, really. It's not really Aaron Ramsdale, it's really James. He's just smiling. But no, it is honestly Aaron Ramsdale. I promise there's a certificate of authentication as well. As long as subscribed here, right, Bobby? Yeah, as long as you're subscribed to the Armoury, you are in the draw. Who saw you're in? Oh, hang on, there's a message come through for me there. There we go. Look, I did tell you on a couple of shows back that there was 2 secret signings that Arsenal were working on. Look, it is what it is. Okay, we'll get into that later, Luke. I'll star that and we'll get into that at the end of the show. Let's just put James in. Hello, James.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, a bit manic. My train was delayed. So as you can tell by the whole attire being a bit all over the place, excuse the mop.
But a little bit windswept for people that can't see James right now. It's just
yeah, you could say that.
Right, let's get into the news. There is, I think, about 22 slides, so there's quite a lot to talk about. Not all that James will be able to comment on because there's women's league and stuff like that. You know, it's just the stuff that James won't know too much about. Right, let's get into the first story. So last night it was reported that Arsenal had a £30 million bid rejected by Ajax for Timber, which is why I've obviously used a pun in the headline. Every time I hear his name, I just want to sing the song. James, I don't think you're that keen on him, are you? According to you.
Nah, he's not that good. Nah. Yeah, it caught me by surprise last night. I was watching a film ready to go to sleep, and yeah, this came out of nowhere. I love it when these types of things happens because it kind of, you know, the whole nostalgia of a transfer link is kind of ruined by the ongoing Arsenal made a bid, they made another bid, you know. So when it comes out completely random, it makes it so much more enjoyable. But no, I'm buzzing if we can get him. Yeah.
Look, we're going to go in for a second bid. I reckon that second bid will be accepted, to be honest. It's unlike another situation we'll get into in a bit. Let's talk about what they're saying here. Big up to Bargo. What's good? James NASA work. He busy. this guy was Man United's number one target last year. What happened? It's mainly to do with the situation that Man United in. I don't want to be harsh on Man United because it's not their fault. It's more to do with their owners. But yeah, they just can't buy anyone right now. They're looking more at the goalkeeper situation at the moment. So if we can get this done quickly, happy days. I always thought Timber was good. Was going to ETH. Look, these things happen in football. If you're not there to take part, you can't get him. As simple as that. Right, so that's Timber over and done with. Let's move on to the next story, which James might have a few different issues on this one. Now, Arsenal are open to offers for Thomas Partey, mainly to the Saudi League, because there's a good chance we actually make a profit on him, which would be incredible. Right, James, what's your issue with this one?
This is going to piss Tony off, probably annoy you as well. I don't think Lavia is good enough right now to be a mainstay in our team. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he is as experienced enough for him to be a mainstay in our team right now. Look, I'm not saying he won't be, because we'll be talking about this later on. I presume he might be on another slide. But if you're getting rid of two midfielders that got you 84 points, there was times when we were on 100-point pace with this midfield, it seems like a massive risk. I'm just worried that we're doing too much in one window, not in terms of bringing in players, but in terms of getting rid of key mainstay figures within the squad. And that's my main issue with it. Obviously, there's other factors that we won't go into that may be pushing this. But we'll just have to see. It really, for me, it really depends on the fee. If it's less than about £60 million, I'm not interested.
All right, fair enough. What I will say, add what James probably doesn't know, is the data that Arsenal collect for all the players for the whole season. The past 2 seasons, they have not been impressed with the data with Thomas Partey, and that is where they're like questioning it. Like, is this the best time? Because obviously he's not going to sign a new deal. Let's be honest, he's not. So do we sell him now, or do we wait another summer and make less on him? So I think that's where Arsenal are coming from. They're using the data, and we obviously have a lot of very good data analysts at Arsenal. So we look. I think I said this last Friday with Canners. I'm absolutely chill if he goes, because I'm not his biggest fan. I'll be honest. I know that you are, James, but I just see it differently. And you know what, let him go. I don't mind. I'll happily move on from him. What's this? So they're talking about. Well, we'll get into the Declan Rice one, I promise, shortly. Do agree. We'll get into all the big up to Tony. Don't worry about you being late. Partey is still a main guy, but he needs to someone before he leaves. That's what James is probably saying as well. Is like, give Lavia a bit of experience. Him, I do get it, but for me, look, cash him in now. He's one of our highest paid earners. He's not going to agree a new deal. I'm all about the money. I'll try not to burst into song on this stream, but it's going to be very hard with people to talk about Partey, and it's just funny. Right, let's move on to the next bit of news. Arteta doesn't want Tierney to go this summer. Now, I'd say this is about 50% true. Yes, we don't want him to go. However, if the price is right, he's off. Simple as that. Arsenal are playing hardball this summer, and good on them. We don't want less than 40 for Tierney, and I believe Newcastle now moved on to Cucurella. Aston Villa, don't know what they're doing. Maybe they come in with an offer, but I don't think they'll come in with an offer for 40, if I'm honest. So we could be keeping Tierney. Now, obviously, James, you put earlier in our group WhatsApp about the 7. So if we were to keep Tierney and the 7 that you said earlier, are you happy with that defensively?
I'm happy with it, but I don't want Tierney to stay.
Okay. What's your reason for that?
He doesn't. I don't think he fits in with what we're trying to do. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe how we're going to play will give him some more room to actually get used to like his skills, because obviously he's a traditional touchline fullback that gives you incredible pace and great crosses, but we don't operate in that way. And for me, I tactically don't see us going down that route. Maybe we will by signing Havertz. Again, we'll discuss later. But I don't think we're going to make the most out of his skill set. And for me, is if he's going to sit on the bench for another year, the price that you're going to be getting for him this summer, you won't get next summer.
Yeah.
So that's the issue with it. And I feel like there's got to be a compromise in there somewhere, where if he's not going to be getting a lot of games next year, he needs to be moved on, because we need the funds to reuse into the team.
Yeah, 100%. What I will say, obviously, for Kieran himself, yes, he is like, there's two brilliant left backs in Scotland, let's be honest. And Steve Clarke puts them both in there. However, if Kieran is not going to play, Steve at some point is going to go, well, you're not getting match time. We're not going to pick you because you could be out of fit. You're not going to be fit enough. And there are players in Scotland that are also Scottish that can actually take Kieran's place. So for Kieran, I would want to go. I still think he will go. I just don't know if where he's going. Look, it wouldn't shock me, and it really wouldn't shock me if City came in. I still would not be shocked. I know City have admired him from a distance, and it wouldn't surprise me if they put a bid in. But Aston Villa are the ones that we need to keep an eye on right now. Newcastle doesn't look like it, with Cucurella possibly going to Newcastle. Big up to DWTT. Hope you're doing well. And Luke saying still got 3 years left on his contract. No reason to sell for any less, 100%. If Arsenal learn from AMN, then Tierney play elsewhere. They'll never learn. I think AMN was slightly different though, wasn't he? Because he was very versatile. Just he felt that he was something better than what Arsenal felt he was. I think that's the difference. Kieran Tierney is a left back. He's a good left back. Moss is obsessed with 70 million for KT. Now, no, just I see where he's going with this because they've got loads of money. However, no, we will never get 70 million for Kieran Tierney. Let's move on to the next one. Saliba is back this Thursday from his holiday in Mykonos. I hope you had a lovely holiday. So I expect the new contract announcement. Obviously, we already know he's signed, but he has the official photos of him. Lovely, doing the signature. But I expect that probably early next week. I don't think it'll be like Friday. I think it'll be early next week. They'll drop the lovely bit of news, and he will be the new number 2, which is going to annoy some people because he's not a right back. Because I know Luke's in the chat, and I know these numbers have issues with people. Do you have an issue with number 2 with Saliba?
No, I don't care. Players can wear what they want at the back of the kit. I don't mind.
Okay. I know Luke might have an issue. To be honest, I do as well because I'm a right back. So, but there we go. Right, let's move on to Declan Rice. Okay. What I will say before I let James talk about it a little bit is the news that broke today can be 3 to 5 days old, because that's how long it takes journalists to actually get the news out, because they get it from their sources. So I'm still chill. I'm still chill about the whole situation. I'm not panicking whatsoever. James, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right now. I was just annoyed at the structure of the bid, maybe because the first report of our first bid was inaccurate, which is what annoyed me, because it looked like there was rumors of an £80 million bid. The rumors were that our first bid was 80 plus 10 or 80 flat. Like, there was like there was just too many different variations of reports that were quoting different figures. So when you see this and it's 75 plus 15, it's like, well, what's going on? But it's how do you call it? It seems to be old because every single journalist got the news at the same time. It was reported all at the same time, all the same articles, all the same messaging, apart from one guy at the Telegraph who's an actual joke of a journalist, I won't mention who, but he's an absolute. No, we won't say anything. Saying that our bid was, batted out of hand and deemed unacceptable, and said it was embarrassing. You know who you are. You probably won't even see this, but stop writing shit articles. And yeah, as future confirmation now for the past 30 minutes that has come out that Arsenal are going to make a third bid, yada yada yada. I think from what I've seen that from very credible West Ham sources and credible Arsenal sources as well, probably people that are more credible, I say more credible, get the information quicker than David Ornstein publishes it, that a bid of 92 plus 10 has already been made and it's being discussed as the final stages. Look, I could be wrong. This isn't my information. This is just information I've seen. And now people are saying we're going to make a third bid very soon. So I don't know. I'm pretty chill with it. I think it's going to get done. I think this is the bid. This, for me, if this bid isn't accepted and done, then I'm going to be a bit pissed off. Because I think it will be. But that's where I'm at with it. I'm calm because I think Declan Rice only wants us. But then again, I've been burnt in the past when I've said that. So I can't really say that with 100% certainty. It's just one of those where if we lose this transfer, I don't care what we do within the summer, it's going to be a failure for me.
No, that's fair enough, mate. I know how passionate you are about the signing. There's nothing wrong with that. What I will say about what you said about the guy from the Telegraph is if anything was that embarrassing, no negotiations would continue. It's as simple as that. If you insult another team with a bid, negotiations are shut down. So nothing's been embarrassing. It's all to do with the first payment. That is the big thing that West Ham want. They want a large amount than what Arsenal are offering because a lot of transfers are not paid all in one lump sum unless it's a release clause. They want a bit more than normal, and Arsenal are just edging closer to what West Ham wants. Look, West Ham need to go out and buy. They have to replace Declan. They probably need 2 players to replace Declan, if I'm honest. So, yeah, I'm totally chill still. Absolutely chill. I think we'll be back probably Friday. So we'll hopefully hear more about by Friday, unless there's any breaking news between now and Friday. Let's move on to the next one. And I know Moss might want to tune out now. Kai Havertz transfer to Arsenal update. Now, second bid went in today. I am very chill about this one because this will get done. Kai wants Arsenal. Chelsea need to get him off the books. He won't be signing a new contract. So Chelsea will be selling Kai Havertz to Arsenal. There is no other competition. Bayern are not preparing anything. Real Madrid are not preparing anything. I think I've heard Doncaster Rovers might be, but that's about it. Obviously, just big up to Colm there. James, you excited for this one now? Because I am. I'm actually excited to see him.
I'm not phased. If he comes in and bangs and does well, I support him. I'll support him regardless, even if he flops. If he doesn't sign for us, then I'm not too fussed. But we'll see. I'm more interested in what Arteta has planned because I feel like him, Declan Rice, and Jakub Kiwior are going to be the 3 key players that we're going to get that is going to tactically change us. So it's more of I'm excited from an interesting perspective. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. I just want to see how Arteta is going to get the most out of him because he does have a lot of good skills. He's an interesting profile, so I'm just looking forward to seeing how he's going to be utilised, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Big up to Gunnar Greg. Deck only wants us as long as Pep don't ring. Pep is concerned with other positions right now, so I'm not too worried about Pep. He can do what he wants, but I'm not worrying about him at all. Great talent, Kai. I just think no, I don't believe in slow playing any of our signings. We want our signings as quick as possible. Get them in. Actually, get them to have a holiday. Get them in first day of pre-season. Get them all training. Look, a lot of players just want a nice, chilled out holiday, and they want to know where they're going when they come back. Declan is off on holiday, I believe, Friday, I think. Not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty sure he's going away Friday. So
Yeah, well, do you know the Twitter account Team News and Ticks? I'm guessing you do. Okay, so he's someone very, very reliable, and he's probably one of the when I said somebody that was reporting that, you know, that an earlier thing, he's come out and said literally about a minute ago he doesn't expect anything else to happen really now until July. For Declan Rice, that's what he said, but we'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah, well, because before I think it was before the Europa Conference final, I heard Declan wanted everything sorted before he went on his holiday. Unless Declan's changed his mind about that, that's his prerogative. You know, it's his life. But as far as I was aware, he wanted it all sorted before he went on holiday. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll wait and see what happens. If it doesn't happen till July, and it's all kind of, we know it's going to happen anyway. Like if the deal gets agreed with between Arsenal and West Ham before he goes on holiday, I'm absolutely chill. As soon as he gets back from holiday, he'll sign the thing. Job done. He's ours. That's absolutely fine. Because we can still come to an agreement before Declan goes on holiday. So I'm not too worried about this. I know Luke said something about there's a reason why no one else is interested. Look, I like Havertz. I liked him before he joined Chelsea. I ignore the Chelsea thing, which is why he's in his German shirt. I'm excited, and there's a reason why. And there's this new story that has come out, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago, but it's come out again freshly today. I'll explain why I'm excited by it, because I've got a theory. That might be happening behind the closed doors that we don't know much about. Healthy Jesus, ESR, and Nelson, along with continued improvements from starting attackers, along with the rejuvenated Havertz, should work for new season. 88 goals from last season come back. Yeah. Real Madrid laughed at Chelsea for Kai. Not really. They didn't laugh. It was more the case of Real Madrid don't have that kind of money. They spent it all on Bellingham. They've just spent half a million on a 33-year-old Joselu to replace Benzema. Trust me, Real Madrid don't have the money. So that's probably why that kind of was. Don't believe everything you read in the papers, Moss. That's all I'll say. I'm relaxed too, but if Gondo leaves, that will be sneaky bum times for me. We'll get into why. I'm sure everyone just reads my script. Right, let's move on to the next storyline. And Moss, it's a Canadian striker that's being linked with the Arsenal. James had already just mentioned it just before we went on air. I don't want to say exactly what he says, but I would always be prepared for this. Right, she is a Canadian forward. She is 29. She turns 30 beginning of July. She's plays for Benfica. She is Canadian, Moss, so you'll be very happy. Very, very close to signing a deal with Arsenal. Waiting for the confirmation, obviously with the Russo as well. But it kind of makes me question who's leaving. For me, someone's leaving. It has to be someone's leaving for me because there's not enough, not space at all. Here we go. Now, this is the perfect person to get a quote from. She ripped it up. Canadian youth was too easy for her. She has been very, very cute. I'm not going to put up your comment, Gav. It's got no. She's cute. I don't see anyone coming in and saying Kai Havertz is cute or Declan Rice is cute. But look, Chloe is very close to joining us, and I hope she does because Moss will just be ecstatic. Yes, we already have a Canadian goalkeeper. I know that. But that's all we've got at the moment, the Arsenal. Right, let's move on quickly over this one. Arsenal are keeping tabs on Harvey Barnes. It's only tabs at the moment. There's nothing really official regarding Harvey. James, yes or no to Harvey?
Nope.
No to Harvey. Okay, fair enough. Is that because he's left-sided and you want to right?
I just don't like him.
What's he done to you?
Not as a person, but as a player. I just don't like. I don't like his. As a player, I just don't like him.
I don't like his left winger. If that's my reason. I don't want a left winger because it makes. I get confused where everyone's going to play because if we're Nelson and Martinelli and Harvey Barnes, I'm losing my mind on who's going to be playing where a little bit. I'm struggling. Tony's saying, yep, no, so I'm with James. There you go. You two actually agree on a player for a change. It's very rare. Let's move on to Balogun. Now, he has said after his debut goal for United States that it's a case of play or sell me. Now, there will be talks between his agents and Arsenal later this week. Now, this is where I get excited about Kai, because I know Moss won't want to hear it, but if there's a different type of setup, I think Kai and Balogun would work like a dream, because those two could be like our Bergkamp and Wright, that kind of setup. I'm not saying they're going to be as good as both of those, but I just think that's a possibility. So I think, because there's another story that links with this one, and this is why I'm thinking this. Would you keep Balogun now, James?
It just depends on how much he's going to be played. If he's not going to be played much, then no.
Okay, right. And Moss, it's not coming around. I think everyone knows how much I love Balogun. Everyone knows. I absolutely think he's brilliant. However, if he's not going to play enough, it is pointless keeping the young lad, because he needs to develop his game. I think he's one to keep an eye on for the rest of his career. I think he's that good. So we'll get into the next story, which I think does link with him. Kai is... Oh, sorry. The messages are going up as I click on one. Kai is going to do well at Arsenal. I believe that as well, Bargav. Play, float, or Balogun. Choose one, Arsenal. Very good, WDWTT. Balogun isn't that flashy, technically gifted striker. Yeah, true. I'm always right about... That's right. I'd sell Balogun, says BX. Balogun will be equally as good and open a ton of space for anyone he plays with. Yeah, I think with Kai, I think those two could absolutely cause an amazing partnership. I think Balogun could keep Jesus out, says Tony. That's a big take. Keep Balo, sell Eddie. Still think Kai plays Xhaka role. If we get 70 million offer, Moss, your demands for players is ridiculous. Right, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. This is why I think there might be something happening with Balogun. Arsenal are ready to listen to offers for Eddie and Nketiah. Now, I'm happy about this because I don't think Eddie is at all what Arsenal need at the quality that we need it. James?
See you later.
Yeah, is it that easy for you?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a similar situation with Reece Nelson in a year as well. I'll be real. I don't mind signing these players to new deals if it means we protect their value and sell them. I don't mind doing it. So if we can sell Eddie for 20-25 million, he can move on. Palace, probably a good instance for him to go to.
Yeah. Underrated Holdini says to Tony, Float isn't going to keep Jesus out. Look, I don't think he's that good yet. I think he has the ability to be, but I don't think he is just yet. You see look, I understand the transfer fees are mad. However, we're not that crazy yet. So why would we take lowball offers when nobody accepts ours? True. Calvin Phillips staying at City. Bobby says to Mina. I haven't heard that officially.
He did an interview, but he's not been confirmed. He said he wants to stay and fight for his place. It was a personal interview.
Yeah, well, everyone can say anything in those type of interviews. I think it's more of a case of if City's saying no. We need strikers to come on Champions League and to spell off Jesus. Flow for me, says Moss. Eddie gave me a huge high last season against you, but he has to go, says BX Gunner. Absolutely fine. Oh, no. We managed the last 30 minutes without him saying his name, but well done, boss. Ready, steady, go for Gunnar Greg. Get Balogun disowned England, but he is pretty good. I don't care if he disowned England or not. I would, whilst Gareth Southgate's there. So, and I don't normally say that live on stream, but I do because that guy just annoys me. But yeah, I think he's very talented, and I can see him doing many, many good things. Right, let's move on to the next story. Arsenal are close to agreeing deal with Lavia. Now, there is no bids for Lavia. However, the parties, his agents, our agents, speaking very well and close to agreeing a deal. Then it's a case of Southampton want to break the under 21 transfer fee, which I believe is 35 million for Luke Shaw. Is that right, James?
Something like that.
So I'm expecting 40 million. 40 million, I'll be at happy days with him because I think he's brilliant. James, I know he's not over keen, but James, would you take Lavia?
Well, it's more scenario based, less so on the player. I'm not going to deny he has talent and a lot of it. It's just I feel like people overrate where he currently is in development. He is a very, very good player, but he's still very, very raw. And for what we do and the position he played and the responsibilities he'd have on his shoulders, I think it's too big of a burden right now for where he's at with his development. That's why I'm very happy if we keep Thomas Partey for a year and we have Lavia in the team. I'm very happy with that. But it's just, I don't know. I'd welcome him with open arms. He's very good, but
I love this one. Underrated holding. That is hilarious. 3 million plus 35 million in add-ons should do the trick for Lavia. I do love that. That would be an awesome way of for signing people. But unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Is this guy actually that good? Honestly, Onana was impressive, but I prefer Lavia, and Moss knows how much I love Onana. But yeah, Lavia's just got something about him. He's got a brilliant engine about him as well. Kai Havertz to complete his move to Arsenal by tomorrow, says Danny Sharp. I think that one will happen quite quick, if I'm honest. I think that one could happen. I don't want to say by the weekend, but it wouldn't shock me if it did. James, I don't usually overhype players, but Lavia is different gravy. Yeah.
I disagree. Right now, I understand where he's coming from, but I feel like we're looking at it from two different angles. He's saying he's different gravy right now. He's not different gravy right now. His potential is different gravy, but as where he's at, he's not different gravy. For me, I don't know. I respect him, but it's just, I'm just being cautious about this because if we do sign him, everyone's expectations of him are going to be here when I think he's here at the moment.
Yeah, no,
I think he's ceiling wise Caicedo level. I feel like he's 2 years before Caicedo, who we're trying to buy this summer, and that's where I'm at with it. So I'm cautious before putting too much pressure on him.
No, look, like I said, I always say this on all the streams. Everyone's entitled to different opinions. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying Tony's wrong. So. With us, he will bloom, right, Tony? Who is actually gonna become like a Conte?
Caicedo.
Yeah, I think yours is more Caicedo, isn't it? But I think we're going to talk about Caicedo next. It's amazing that. Right, Caicedo is close to joining Chelsea. However, Arsenal are keeping tabs. We haven't totally pulled away from this. I don't know why, but we haven't pulled away totally. Now, I think the deal is around 80 million. It is what it is. You really want him, don't you?
If it's a choice between us spending 40 on Lavia or us spending 40 on Caicedo, it's a no-brainer. You go and get Caicedo. If we sign Caicedo and Declan Rice, I don't think it's going to happen. But if we did, I'm more than happy to walk Thomas Partey to the airport and go get him a flight to Saudi Arabia.
Well, this is the thing, and I know that you're worried about if we do sell Thomas Partey, but Lavia and Declan Rice are the two people that we want. No matter what happens with Partey, are the two people. Now, this is where my theory comes into play. If we can sell Thomas Partey, not saying we will, but if we can quickly, because the Saudi Arabian clubs are acting very quick with all their signings. If we can, I wouldn't be that surprised if we put a bid in for Caicedo, if I'm honest. That's my personal opinion about the whole situation. But it all depends if we can get rid of Thomas Partey, which I don't know. I honestly don't know if we can. So yeah, let's see. Gunnar Gray says, "Get him now." It's a now. Caicedo for 100 million is a no, absolute scam. It's definitely not 100 million now. I don't know where they've got that money from, but it's not 100 million, so don't worry about that. Big up to Ian Rayson. Won't get Lavia for 35 as his release clause is 40. That only applies next summer. There's a lot of people thinking that this is a release clause for now. That applies next summer for Man City. If someone was to sign him now, obviously that transfer release clause doesn't exist because obviously you're blown owned by someone else. So yeah, I'm not too worried about this situation. I think we can get. I think 40 million. I'm quite happy with that. To be fair, I think Lavia is something special, and I think he can prove it. And I think he. I don't want to say I want to prove James wrong, but I think he's better than what James possibly might be.
It's not that I'm doubting it. I just again, I feel like it's just. People, for me, the last thing I say, people overrate his ability right now. That's all I'll say. That's why I think people are too hot on him right now, his current ability. If we're talking in a year's time, I'll probably be wrong, but we're talking this summer, he's very raw.
What I will say, and this is where I will agree with you a little bit, James, is because Southampton was so poor last season, Lavia did stand out like a beautiful rose. And maybe that's because Southampton were playing that poorly that Lavia just stood out really well. Or he can be that good. We don't know. We don't know.
I think it's more when I say overrating, he's playing where Partey is, he's nowhere near as good on the ball as Thomas Partey is right now. Defensively, I think he's very good. But if you look at him on the ball and his passing, it's nowhere near as consistent and nowhere near as accurate as Thomas Partey is. He has the ability. It's literally a minutes thing. And that's where my concern is. But I'm not going to say I'm upset if we sign him because I'd be very, very happy if we did. It's just, again, an expectations thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry. True saying Arsenal practically funding Chelsea. No, Chelsea have got an owner that knows exactly what to do in a situation that they were in, and they're doing it very cleverly. And I'm never going to put any bad word towards Chelsea. I don't believe we're help funding them because Chelsea need to sell a lot of players. There just happens to be one that is become available. Arteta is well known for being a big fan of Kai, and this was not a planned signing this summer at all. It's because he's become available. So Arsenal have put a bid in, and so far looks like he might be joining us. Caicedo and Enzo will be scary. Yeah, they will be. Be interesting. Lavia on pace to be as good as Caicedo next season too. Danny Sharp saying, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm happy about Kai Havertz going to Arsenal. Honestly, I'm with you, Danny. I think a lot of people are really hard on the Havertz thing, mainly possibly because he's Chelsea and hasn't performed very well at Chelsea. But to be fair to him, he's not a striker. So you're putting someone in a position that you're going to look bad. And he plays very well for Germany. And he played very well before Chelsea signed him. So I'm not too concerned, if I'm honest. If Brighton accepts an 80 million for Caicedo, then go get him. Look, I know we're keeping tabs on it, so let's wait and see what happens exactly. Is he not good enough for Man City? I don't know where that. Oh, sorry, Bargav. I don't know where I'm lost with that one now. Is that Lavia? I think City have got a certain amount of money they want to use this summer, and they've got bigger targets and different areas that they want to strengthen in. So I can't see them coming in for him this summer, if I'm honest. Southampton will want higher fee for a 25% sell-on clause. There's no way. There's no way it's going to be anywhere near 50. I think 40, and I think that's job done. Runs out next summer. Yeah, it does run. The actual clause runs out next summer, 2024. Lavia's crossing is atrocious. I wouldn't be too worried about crossing because we wouldn't be really wanting that. Canners, 69 watching right now and only 12 likes. Come on, people, smash the likes. Great show, guys. Thank you, Canners. There's currently 92 people watching live. This is a crazy show. I'm just sitting here like trying to ignore the numbers. Now 98. It's just going bonkers. Caicedo's wages is what matters, it seems, Luke. We just can't get people. look, I get where people's problems are, but this is Edu's style. He won't change his style, I promise you that. It's just what it is. Yes, I totally get that, Gronke, but we are preparing to going to self-sufficient next summer. So we're preparing the foundations this summer by having a lot to spend on a certain type of profile. And then next summer, I expect to go big on probably one or two positions. I think James already knows one next summer that he's got his eye on. Any news on Rice yet? No news. I'm sure James has probably got his Twitter feed somewhere close by. I don't. Unfortunately. Caicedo is linked everywhere except City. City are mainly just focusing on centre back at the moment. Well, they move very similar to us, where one position, then one position, and one position. So yeah, let's just wait and see. No one ever pays sticker price, but I would rather meet asking price and make up for it in outgoings. I do get it, but this is just Edu's style. I'm sure that West Ham will get what they want at the end. But it's just a roller coaster. It's all fun. Right, I've done this storyline because I find this funny. The headline is even Arteta is pestered by cold callers. Now, the reason I've put that is he had 2 phone calls for the past week. One from PSG, which he turned down. And the second one is Alexis Sanchez. Basically, he just said no very quickly to both. I just felt it was very funny because it felt like cold calling, because it was just out of nowhere for the PSG job and out of literally nowhere for Alexis Sanchez to come back to Arsenal. I would never want to see him back at Arsenal. So, yeah, it's just madness. James, you got anything to say on those 2 things?
No, Arteta's not going anywhere, and you ruined your chances when you left for our rivals. So you burned all your bridges when you went to United.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. So I've just missed 2 comments there. I do apologise. Lunatic, do we really want Havertz at the price they are asking for? Yes and yes. Alexis is a legend, according to Moss, not according to me. I don't want to be clipped for saying that because he's not a legend to me. And I'm more of that, the cheek of Alexis. I think Sanchez can actually help us. I don't think he can. Hope the third call wasn't Caicedo. 2023 Alexis over Eddie. Oh, I get that bit, but yeah, no. Superstar wants to take low dollars to where he loves. If he loved us, he wouldn't have left us. So simple as that. Left because aren't ambitious. Oh, so now he wants to come back when we are. But nah, I'm sorry. That doesn't happen in real life. It's not going to happen in football either. So not for me. Right, Gundogan heading to Barcelona. Not yet. Arsenal have gone back to his camp and offered a better deal. So I am not 100% sure that he is going to Barcelona. Barcelona has the best offer on the table, but Arsenal have upped their bid to Gundogan. So I personally would be absolutely delighted with this signing, considering the outgoings that might be going. James, yes, no to Gundogan on a free?
Yeah, I'd definitely take him. I'm just worried that he implicates City getting into the race for Declan Rice, and that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Okay.
I'd 100% take him. I'd be okay with if we signed Gundogan and let go of Partey and sign Lavia. That's another scenario I'd be okay with, because you're getting rid of one experienced player, but then you're bringing in another that has experience. So I think a Declan Rice, Gundogan, and Martin Odegaard midfield would be very, very good.
Yeah. Moonsick says Rice and Gundogan. To be honest, I think Kai Havertz might be the first arrival, if I'm honest, with how things are progressing. But as Arteta has said, he wants everyone, the big signings, he wants in for pre-season ready and waiting to start. So I expect 3 by the end of the month still, and the end of the month comes a week this weekend. So we've got 11 days. I still think there's time. It's lunchtime, Tony. 100%. Gundogan by himself. No, he has 1 year maybe left. Someone young needs to come. I think where it works well with Lavia, if I'm honest, but that's just my opinion. Right. We have had an exit. Nicolas Moller joins St. Gallen on a permanent basis. He joined us from Malmo in 2020. Ibrahimovic was the guy that was raving about him. It hasn't worked out. He went to Den Bosch. He's been out to someone else in Germany. I can't remember where. He's the tall striker. Unfortunately, just hasn't worked out. So, look, he's off. James, do you know much about him?
I know a little bit about him, but he's not on my highest prospect from my youth academy. So there's obviously physically, he's very, very good. And I think that's what makes him unique. But, you know, if he's not working out on loan or he's suffering from injuries, then he needs to be moved on, I guess. And he has gone. So good luck. Maybe we'll see you in the future. But, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Danny Sharp wants 8 signings. I wouldn't be surprised with 8 signings. I'm not saying all of them will be like first teamers. I still think there's a 17-year-old that might be on his way to us. So that won't be a big signing. That's more of a development signing. Gundogan, yes, like for like. Luke, 100%. Good riddance. Another Chuba Akpom. Look, to be fair, Chuba Akpom has done very well. So, he has done well. He did well at, where was he now? Payok, wasn't he? Payok in Cyprus. Then he's done well last season with Middlesbrough. So, yeah, he's had a great career. Why not Barella if available? He is available, but I think it's about 80 million, I think. Any more Chiesa? Not right now. Not right now. There's nothing in this one about Chiesa at the moment, mate. Right, let's move on to the next story. Katie McCabe was named Arsenal Player of the Season. So big up to Katie McCabe for getting that award. 3 more call-ups for the World Cup for the ladies that starts in July. Marnham has been picked by Norway. Blackstenius and Hurtig have been selected by Sweden. Okay. James, can you tell me what it is?
It's basically just confirmation of Thomas Partey probably leaving.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's just
that
it was less. Obviously, Fabrizio said there was chances, but David Ornstein has pretty much said both the club and the midfielder are working on finding a solution. And inside the report, it says would require another midfielder to come in, and that doesn't mean Declan Rice. That's excluding Declan Rice. That's another one on top of that.
As I said. So, are you a bit more chill now?
Depends who's coming in. If it's El Neni on the contract extension, then no. If it's somebody else, then probably. They have to be of good quality, though.
Yeah. Marnham was player. No, this was the Arsenal. The one that they do on Arsenal.com. That was Arsenal's fans' choice, or whoever else selected the vote on that one. So that's slightly different. Irish can't go wrong. Yeah. If Inter want Balogun, then player and cash for Barella. That's what he says. Partey, big shoes to fill. Not for me. I'll be honest, I'm not that big a fan of Thomas Partey. Right, Community Shield kickoff time has been moved from 5:30 to 4 o'clock, mainly to do with the fans being able to get home safely, basically, because obviously Manchester, bit of a far. Mind you, a lot of their fans probably are somewhere else because they probably aren't in Manchester City, but there we go. But yeah, it's been moved forward to 4. The FA have confirmed that today, so that I think it's a good one, especially for safety. Fabio Vieira has pulled out of the under-20s through injury, but it is a small injury. It's meant to be like a couple of weeks. He's meant to be out, so he should be back for pre-season. So it's nothing to worry about, but he's not fit enough for the under-20s, which starts in a couple of days' time, I believe. James is nodding, so I'm guessing that's correct. So I don't have any notes by me, so I'm trying to remember every single thing that I'm meant to be talking about. Right, this one's a little bit of a weird one for everyone. Reece Nelson and Marchese, the American goalkeeper who plays for Arsenal Women's, have been awarded a community champion award. Now, this is to do with everything that they do outside of Arsenal. Both Reece and Marchese have been helping with antisocial behaviour, knife crime, drinking with the youths. So big up to Reece Nelson and Marchese for doing that, basically, but also getting the community champion awards. Let's move into some paper talk. There's only 2 bits of paper talk. I do check every day, but if it's absolute rubbish, I will not talk about it. So James might be quite surprised by one of them. Right, first one is Real Madrid are building a deal for Arsenal target Nico Williams. They're struggling to build the actual bid at the moment, so it's not totally ruled out that we might come in at the end, because we are after a forward stroke winger. So Nico Williams. James, how much would you want Nico?
He's on the list. He's probably 3rd or 4th on my list, but he's an option.
Yeah.
I think he's very talented. I haven't watched too much of the club he plays for, but the stints I saw of him in the World Cup, he looked very, very good.
Okay, we'll move into the last story of the day and the last bit of paper talk. And the reason I'm waiting this for a little bit longer, because I know who's on it. And James' face might just go, what? But it is there, and there is possible. Victor Osimhen has multiple destinations this summer, including Arsenal Football Club. James, this summer, would you take Osimhen?
Yeah, sell everybody and bring him in. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course. He's the signing I want us to make, or I envision us making next summer. I don't know if it's plausible for us to do, but he's the one I see. As you said, there's probably 1 or 2 signings that we'd need to make next summer in order to. He, for me, is the signing you make when you have every single piece together. So yeah, I take him within a heartbeat. He's, for me, outside of Haaland, he's the best striker on the market.
Sorry, this came up straight away. I found that hilarious.
Yeah, I'm the same. Then we got Osimhen, sell both.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just for people that are listening and can't see the comment, basically Guna Greg has put, I changed my mind, sell Eddie and Balogun, basically to say we can get Osimhen. Look, the link is there. There is a very big possibility he could stay, but if he was to leave, there are multiple destinations in the Premier League, and we are one of them. It's not that there is no links at all. Osimhen and Arsenal are linked, and there is an interest for definite from Arteta. So look, if it happens, I think James might do a party. Yeah, especially if
get rid of one, bring in another. We've been linked with him for a long time though. We almost signed him when he was at Wolfsburg, I think, and then 2 years ago, Charles Watts said that Osimhen's agents were at London Colney. Yeah, so there is a long-standing interest there.
Correct.
So yeah,
100%. Look, I know that Moss has put in here that there's talk of a new deal for Osimhen. Look, there is many things that can happen in the summer. Just because you sign a new deal doesn't mean you're staying either. Look at Caicedo. Caicedo signed a new deal in January. He's leaving 6 months later. Doesn't really mean much. Does it happen this summer? I don't know. I haven't got a clue what Napoli are going to decide. However, there's a valid link there. I talk about, this is why I call it paper talk. This is not Arsenal news. This is Arsenal paper talk. So it's a valid link, which I do talk about. And I'm not teasing you, mate. I wouldn't say if it wasn't a little bit true. Osimhen is someone you take now. If you don't get Osimhen, I'll settle for Kane next summer. Okay. I don't know where to go with that comment. What's the hate on Osimhen? Strong and fast. He's absolutely electric. I love him. Edo won't be able to negotiate with Napoli. I can see where you're going with that one, because Napoli are a hard team to negotiate with. Oh my God, Odegaard just put it on. Oh, okay, he's talking about football again. Right, guys, it's been a fantastic stream. Arsenal news is here twice a week, guaranteed. If there is breaking news, one of us will try our best to go live when it's big breaking news. We just don't do little big breaking news. We do big breaking news. James, really appreciate you coming on. Let's see if you can get it right today. Where can people find you?
You can literally find me on Twitter at the where is it? This one. There you go, at James Armoury TV. That's where you can see me at. I don't know my left and rights apparently, but yeah.
It's very hard when you're on camera, to be fair.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's very hard. It would have been good if Havertz signed for Man United. Okay. But yeah, Paulina was a star and key player last season. I looked to add someone with his qualities. Paulina. Oh, the Fulham. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't want to touch him mainly because West Ham want him. So let West Ham have him. We can
Fulham has said 90 million quid, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh dear, it's lovely. But guys, you'll find me back on here probably Friday night. If there is breaking news, we'll try our best to break it when it happens. But guys, really appreciate the comments, really appreciate the people viewing. Actually, I don't want to forget this. Sorry, Luke. There is a question that Luke asked earlier. I did put it star it just so I didn't forget. West Ham acting in bad faith regarding their asking price? If so, should we withdraw our interest as a result? Okay, I don't think they're acting in bad faith. Unfortunately, there's a lot of false information out there. So I don't think they're acting in bad faith. James, what about you?
I don't mind how they act as long as Declan Rice comes and joins Arsenal. That's all I care about.
I could have guaranteed that answer. Right, guys, really appreciate it. I'm out of here. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.